Hi everyone, let us begin our today's video with USMLE Step 1 Preparation Guide. There are many resources which you can use to study for Step 1 and I have listed few of them here. Coming to practice test, you can use NBME, UWorld, Free M20 and AMBOSS. Before you begin any of your study, you should check the content specifications and their percentages. So here is a list of systems and their percentages. Coming to competency specifications, medical knowledge, it is accounted for 60 to 70%, patient care, diagnosis, history, physical examination is accounted for 20 to 25%, and pathology, it is accounted for 45 to 55%, physiology 30 to 40%, pharmacology 10 to 20%, and these percentages usually change. You should keep a track of this. So it will give you just a rough idea how the percentages work. Now coming to the exam pattern, it is a 1-day exam administered in 8-hour testing session, and it is divided into 7 60-minutes block. You have 45 minutes of break time. If you skip the 15 minutes tutorial, that 15 minutes get added to the 45 minutes, making it to 60 minutes of break time. Usually there will be maximum of 40 questions in each block. Now it's graded as pass or fail, and new minimum passing score is 196 as of 2025, but you should always keep the track of this in the USMLE website because it keeps changing. Now coming to the main part of discussion. When you begin your study for USMLE, everybody have these questions. How should I start to study? How much time should I study? What resources to use? How should I assess my exam readiness? And when should I take my exam? So we will come to it one by one. I have split the plan into plan for medical students and fresh grads and plan for old grads. So now let's come to the plan for medical students and fresh grads. You can start with UWorld, Master the Board Ethics, First Aid book, and you should always concentrate on the weaker subjects and you should strengthen it, and you should go on with practice tests. Let's move on to the plan for old grads. Being an old grad, I struggled a lot to know how to study. So this plan worked for me very well. So you should always start off with one NBME old offline practice test. You can find all the old ones numbered from 11 to 30 in Google searches. So take either number 25 test or the NBME 26th test and take it offline in a test mode. Keep timer of around 1 hour 15 minutes for each block because you have 50 questions of 4 blocks, total of 200 questions. So after you finish the test, you calculate the percentage, like 200 out of how many you got right. The percentage will help you decide how to study. And after that, you start off with board and beyond videos. Once you finish your NBME practice test, begin studying basics using board and beyond videos. Dr. Ryan has explained the videos in a very easy manner and you can grasp all the subjects easily, and he has used some tips also for you to remember the difficult ones. Begin studying biochemistry, then move on to microbiology and continue with your weaker subjects and finish the board and beyond one reading. After you finish one reading of board and beyonds, go on to study pathology using pathoma. Pathoma has both videos and textbook. You can use any one of those and study the Pathoma. After that, you study master the board ethics. When I gave my step 1 exam, I had around 4 to 5 ethics question in each block. But if you have studied this master the board ethics, you can answer all those questions very well. After that, study the first aid book completely. It's very important for you to study the first aid book. After that, go on to UWorld. I'm using my step 3 question bank to show an example on how to use UWorld. So once you go to the login page, you'll see this question bank section, and then you go to create test and you select all subjects and all systems and number of questions as 40 and create the test. And after you create the test, take it in a test mode for 1 hour so that you will know how many questions are correct and how many are wrong. One more important thing I want you all to know here is always keep a timer of around 2.5 to 3 hours for each block of UWorld, that is around 40 questions. 1 hour is to take the test and around 1.5 to 2 hours to read the explanations of all the questions. And try not to miss out reading the explanations of the correct answers also, because there might be some important information which you may not know. And make sure to make the notes of all the important information in this note section over here so that you can use that notes to revise during exam times. Now here I'm trying to tell one more important tip which I used in my all 3 exams, step 1, step 2, step 3, to answer the questions quickly. And this tip helped me not to waste time on reading the entire questions most of the time, only reading some important key points. I was able to get to the answers. First, when you get to the question, read this end question. Then afterwards, go through the history. While reading the history only, if you are able to get to the answer, it's well and good. Or else then go to detailed examination and investigations and go through all the question and options. So this tip helps you to solve the questions quickly. I followed one more important thing while studying for step 1, step 2, step 3. In UWorld, I used to do 5 blocks selecting all subjects and all systems. Once I finish 5 blocks, I used to check my performance report and check for the systems which I got less than 50%. And after that, what I did was I used to do 1 block of only my weaker subjects. I used to select all subjects and I used to select only the systems whichever I am weaker. For example, allergy, biostat, or ethics, and take a test in that. So this is what helped me to strengthen my weaker subjects. So I did 5 blocks of all systems and 1 block of my weaker systems. This is what I followed for all 3 exams and helped me a lot. Okay, now we went through the plan for study, like starting off with practice test and then what are the books you need to study and UWorld, how to study the UWorld. After starting with studying of UWorld, what you have to do is check your percentages. Once you start getting around 65 to 70% in your UWorld blocks, take one offline NBME and keep taking offline NBME every 15 to 20 days or 1 month. Once you get more than 70% in your offline NBME, take one online NBME. In online NBME also, if you get more than 70%, then schedule your exam. Don't try to hurry and schedule your exam. And important tip is nothing but read, recall, revise. If you have any further questions on how to prepare and any other question, you can always comment in the comment section. I'm always open to answer and help you out in studying for exam. Thank you.